Welcome to the Habits and Hustle podcast, a podcast that uncovers the rituals, unspoken habits, and mindsets of extraordinary people. A podcast powered by Habit Nest. Now here's your host, Jennifer Cohen.
So hi, Ryan. Thank you for...
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Habits and Hustle. This is...
Yes.
Technically, this is our first... actually our second podcast while we've been quarantined and basically staying at home. And so we've had some technical difficulty and the first time. So hopefully this time will be better. So thank you for being patient.
Yes, of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's great to have you. So Ryan, so let's start with the obvious, which is now that the Olympics... Oh, geez, what happened here? Well, now that the Olympics has been canceled, what happens now? Like, are you happy that you have another year to train, or are you kind of like bummed because now you're thinking, oh shit, I have another year I have to be training this hard for? Like, what's your take on this whole thing?
I mean, when we first found out about it, I was kind of upset just because, I've been training for 4 years. Well, actually for me, it was more like 2. But I was just put a lot of hard work and I was ready. My body was ready. My mind was ready. And I was ready to go and crush, which was hopefully my 5th Olympics. And then they said it was getting postponed. And I was just really bummed just because that means I have another full year of training and getting back ready, getting my mindset back. And it's a lot. And especially for me at the age of 35, and I'll be 36 in August. So I'll be 37 going into the next Olympics.
Wow.
And that's really unheard of in the sport of swimming.
You're getting up there for sure, right?
Yeah. So, that's another thing I had to start thinking about and being like, well, can my body handle it? And everything. Because the training that I do here at University of Florida is it's intense.
I want to get, can you talk about that? I want to know, what do you guys like to get to the level, of course, that aren't you the number 2 most, the second best swimmer of all time, basically, according to like the Olympic medals and all that stuff behind Michael Phelps? Is that still right? Yeah. So, to even get close to that level, right? The training, the mindset, the discipline, what goes into it? Can you just give me a day in the life of what a training regimen looks from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint? What happens?
So basically you're waking up around 7:30, getting breakfast, going to the pool, and you swim for about 2 to 2.5 hours, which you do anywhere is about, well, for me, I do anywhere is about 4 to 5 miles.
Okay.
In that practice of swimming. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards I go to weights, which is anywhere. I do a lot of Olympic lifting, cardio, a lot of abs, stuff like that. I do that for an hour and a half. Then I go home. If I'm able to take a nap, I take a nap. And then I go back to afternoon practice in the afternoon from about 3 to 7. And I do another 4 to 5 miles of swimming. So, if you give it out of a week,
what point does that happen? Are you doing that the whole time, or?
Yeah. From Monday to Saturday, I practice in the swimming pool 9 times, and each time I swim, it's about 4 to 5 miles. And I do weights 3 times a week and abs and cardio 3 times a week. So if you put that all together, it's about 30 to 40 hours of training a week.
But are you doing that leading up to the Olympic training, or is it what does it look like on just to kind of maintenance? Because that sounds to me like that would be something. Or are you doing that all year round?
I'm doing that pretty much all year round.
Wow.
If there's like a month before the Olympic trials or the Olympics, I start tapering down. So I'll start doing less yardage and less weights and just kind of cleaning up certain things. But for the most part, it's just grinding day in, day out.
That's like, okay, so I mean, I have a bazillion questions for you just from like the ability to kind of stay disciplined with that stuff, because doesn't it get boring ever? Like, oh, here I go again, and I got to swim again. I got to go to the, if you're doing that to that level, that many hours a day, I mean, that's basically more than half of your day between sleeping and that's basically it.
Yeah.
I mean,
is all, yeah.
What kind of cardio are you doing? Like, I thought swimming was cardio.
It is, but I mean, we do stuff outside the pool. Like, I like taking Caden, my son, play basketball, like stuff like that. We go on family bike rides, just anything like that. Just because if I just thought about swimming, just did swimming day in, day out, like I would quit swimming. I need to be doing something else. And luckily, I have two beautiful children that just keep me going all the time.
So you're active with them.
Yes. Right. So I think that's one of the hardest things, especially being my age and being a father, is you don't have the luxury of like, oh, I'll just, take a nap right now, or I can just go get a massage. I can just do this and like have my quiet time. And you don't get that.
I know. And I have two kids. I get it.
Yeah. It's very frustrating at times, but I mean, it's a blessing. I love it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like your schedule is very hectic, and I'm sure now with the training, well, now that we're like kind of quarantined, how are you training? Are you able to still practice and swim, or like, what are you doing?
Right now, I am trying to stay sane.
Yeah. Like most of us.
Yes, it is. It's just, it's insane. Swimming, there is no swimming because they shut down every pool. So right now it's just us staying fit. I have a bunch of weights in my garage that I could still, and I get weight programs from my weight coach, so I can still do that. And then, like I said, family bike rides a lot, family walks, just doing a bunch of abs in the house, like you name it. I'm just trying to do everything.
How do you stay motivated? I mean, not just now with the quarantine, but I guess overall, like to even do another Olympics now, like what is your motivation? Let's start with like now, how are you staying motivated to train when we're locked in our house day in, day out? I mean, there's not much, it's like Groundhog's Day, and it's very, very easy to kind of like fall in a slump and then not have that motivation.
Yeah.
I guess, what is your motivation? How do you get motivated?
The thing that's keeping me going is, my goals. I want to make my 5th Olympics, and I want to get another gold medal. I mean, that is my biggest goal, and I want to do that, and I want to accomplish that. And I know if I fall short, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to have what ifs. Well, what if I just kept going in swimming? Would I have done it? Would I got my 5th Olympics? Would I got another gold medal? I never want to say what if. So that is definitely one of my goals that I want to do. That's what keeps me going every day, and my family. I want to do this for my family.
Yeah, that's a good reason. And now let me go back from like a long time ago. Why swimming? I mean, I don't know much about like your background. Like, why swimming? Like, were you just naturally just faster than every other kid in the pool when you swam? Did you always love swimming? What was like, what was your reason?
I was actually not a good swimmer growing up. I'd get beat by girls in practice and stuff. But
really?
I loved being in the water. Like, I could be having the worst day, but once I step foot in that water, everything just disappears. I'm just like happy. It's like my home. I'm like so calm. I'm like, and everything in swimming kind of came easy to me because I had a natural feel for the water. So learning new techniques, learning new strokes or anything like that, it became really easy to me because, I mean, I was just, I don't know, I was just one with the water, I guess.
So even though you weren't amazing in terms, you weren't like your girls were beating you, like you said, you just liked it. And so you kind of stayed with it, it sounds like, and got better.
Yeah, I mean, well, growing up, I did like every sport possible. I was a better basketball player than I was a swimmer growing up. But I mean, it just no other sport did what swimming did to me. I mean, I didn't get good until my freshman year of college.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you were older already.
I just loved swimming, and I loved the competition. Because you can race every single moment in practice. Like you can race like every set, every practice, and then when you get to swim meets, it's like mano a mano. It's like who wants it more, and I love that excitement. And I think that's what even drove me further in the sport of swimming.
So then what happened? So then, like, talk to me as if I know nothing about you, because let's pretend I know nothing about you, except like, what most people know, right? But let's just say, like, so here you are in your freshman year of college, you're becoming a better swimmer. Then what's the next thing? Like, how did it go from that to like being who you are today? Like, what was the progression? Oh, wow. I can hear your kids. Yeah, I know. I'm just waiting, by the way. Any second now, my kid's going to start banging on my door, by the way. Just FYI. So that will happen.
Oh, God. So my freshman year, I was... Kaden, go see mommy. My freshman year, I was like 5'9", 157 pounds. I was a real scrawny kid. And going into college, so I just had a natural feel for the water, natural gift. My strokes were all pretty. And so University of Florida is a very hard university to like for training, for swimming wise. It's a very hard school because it's an old school. It's like, let's just grind. And in my events that I was getting chosen for to go get a scholarship was the freestyle events. And I was like the 9th or 10th fastest in the US for seniors out of high school. So all these colleges were really looking at the 9 or 10 faster guys than me. Right. So there was not many scholarships and I needed a full ride. So at the last minute, everyone turned down University of Florida, and the coach came and said, I have a full ride waiting for you. Like, do you want it? I was like, what? I'm packing my bags right now. I'm out of here.
Wow.
So I signed the scholarship and everything and went to Florida. And it was, I just remember one of my coaches at the time, he was like, all these colleges didn't want you. Like every time you go to the swimming blocks, like you have to like stick it to them just because like they didn't want you and you got to prove them wrong.
Right.
So when that happened, like I started training a lot harder. I grew like 5 inches. I went to 6'2", 194 pounds of muscle. And it was just, I had a growth spurt. Yeah. And after my freshman year, I was like, wow, like, you know what? I think I can make a name for myself in this sport. Like, I think I can do this. So I even went, so going in my sophomore year was 2004. And that was my goal, was making the 2004 Olympics. But I had like the longest outside shot. But I mean, it was something that I wanted to do. And I just kept training, staying focused, having fun, and just getting better every day. And finally, in 2004, I had that opportunity, and I I made my first Olympic team, and I got a gold medal and a silver medal at my first Olympics.
I remember. I mean, I remember you when I was like a little girl, and you were like so cute. You know, like it was like that's what I remember. By the way, that's what I remember. I'm like, yeah, he's a good swimmer, but you were like the cute, like the hot guy on the team, and like you had like such a crazy trajectory. You know, like I remember Michael Phelps was Michael Phelps, right? But like you weren't that like far away. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that far. You weren't that far away. You know. And like, I kind of, I remember you were like, there was like a moment, like not a moment, like a big moment where that was like when you became like a huge, I wouldn't say like a sex symbol, but kind of, you were like on all the covers of the magazines. You remember? Well, of course you remember all this, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, like that must have been a wild moment for you. But I was going to, before I just like went on and on about.
That was a long time ago.
What?
That was a long time ago.
I know. Well, I mean, you kind of look exactly the same.
It was, I started getting as like the rock star.
You were, yeah.
Yeah. And that was like kind of my persona of just because I wasn't like a normal Olympian. Like a normal Olympian is like, you think they train, they eat, they sleep. They do this. They're like a robot. They do this every day.
Right.
Like they have nothing else. Me, that was the complete opposite. Right. I was like, swimming is just a sport that I like to do. Like it doesn't define who I am. So like I did everything else possible. I was just crazy. Going out to parties all night. And then
I know, like, can you hear me or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, go ahead. No, I want to hear this. You're going to you're going to parties and
I'm going to all these parties, all these red carpet events, but still training. It was just, I was just being really foolish and
but like
really childish.
But also like, before we even like talk about that stuff, whatever, like being foolish, whatever, but like, you're kind of like an example in a way that like, is it more talent or is it more hard work or is it a combination in your part? Because if you were kind of like, it was like, yeah, I swim, but I also do this. I'm also like a normal guy, you know, that doesn't just define myself by swimming. Now, the reality is, like, as you said, most people who get to that level at that point, like that's all they're doing is they're sleeping and they're swimming and that's it. So like, you said you weren't naturally like the best. So how much of it?
I had to train.
But how much, in your opinion, is someone's talent versus their like work, like their discipline and their work ethic?
I think especially when you get to the Olympic level, you have to have some talent. No doubt in my mind. Like you have to have some talent. But for me, I have an ability to out-train anyone. It's something that I acquired. It's when like I'm swimming with like I'm swimming with other people or working out with other people. And I know in my mind, like the people next to me, like they're just as tired and they're hurting probably just as bad. But like I dig down even deeper because there's always something more inside you. You just have to reach deep down inside and find it. And I was always able to reach deep down and pull it out and train even harder. So when I started getting really tired in practice, I'd reach deep down and go even harder. And I just kept pushing my body to limits that I didn't know I was capable of doing. So once I did this every day, it just became easy. And that's why I say, like, I put so much, when I step my foot on that pool deck, it's business. And I will joke around in practice and have fun, but when it comes to swimming, like I'm a machine, and I'm just so focused, and I can race anyone, and it's just anyone can do it. It's just you have to just dig deep down inside you and find that extra something.
So was Michael Phelps someone who gave you like? Did he like ignite more like? Did he keep you on point and keep you more competitive because did he push you more because of that, or were you guys rivals? Like, what was your relationship? And did you know him before you guys were kind of like on a team together? Did you like know of him?
Well, I knew of him just because he went to the 2000 Olympics and he was like a superstar at such a young age. So I was like, holy crap, like I get to be on the same team as Michael Phelps. Like, this is awesome. And then once I started swimming the same events as him, and I started, as the years went on, I started getting closer to him and closer to him. And then finally beating him, our rivalry became amazing. And we help each other out. And I mean, if he was on here too, he'd say like, we want to be the same athlete as we are today if it wasn't for us, because we helped each other out. We helped push each other because he wanted to beat me and I wanted to beat him. So going into practice every day, in the back of our mind, I'd be like, Michael Phelps, like, gotta get him.
Right.
So it was that extra little something.
No, exactly. And so like, but you guys, and then like, that must've been like a trip for you, like seeing him in the Olympics and like looking at, only knowing him as a superstar, not as like someone that you were, a peer to. Mm-hmm. And then becoming, not that far later, like actually like you actually beat him a few times, you know what I mean? A bunch. And you guys were like neck to neck. Like that must've been crazy for you.
Yeah, when it finally, well, I mean, I guess I always knew I was capable of doing it. That's just my mindset of going to every race. I know I can win just because of the work I've put in. But when it finally happened, it wasn't like a shock. Actually, when it happened, I was a little bit disappointed because I thought I could go faster. So really? I mean, that's how I have to be, and that's how, when you get to a certain point or a certain level in any career, like you can't stay consistent. You can't stay right there. You have to find ways to make yourself even better. And I think that's the hardest point when you do get like a gold medal or you break a world record, is how can you get better? Because everyone else in the world is finding ways to catch you. Mm-hmm. So exactly. That is the hardest thing. That once I was able to beat him, I was like, I gotta be even faster. Like I can't think behind me. I gotta keep thinking forward. Like, what's next?
Absolutely. So, what did he do? What did he say? Do you think he was like a little bit like was he happy for you or not so much?
I mean, I don't think he was ever happy. Like no one is ever happy to lose.
I was going to say like not happy for you, but was he like, way to go? Like if you guys are good friends, or is it more like, fuck, like I can't believe that just this guy
I mean, it's disappointing that if you lose, because it's like, I want to win.
Well, right.
But at the same time, it's not, we're Team USA. And Team USA just went 1-2. So, yes, he was a little upset that he lost, but at the same time, it's Team USA won. So, I mean, it's good for our country.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's more than a little upset. It's still like ego. I mean, it's ego. And it's also like an individual. Like I know Team USA, blah, blah. But it's swimming is an individual sport, right? Like you have your own records and everything like else. I would imagine that was kind of like a mind fuck a little bit, when everyone's just revering you your entire life to be like, do you eat like, by the way, you didn't really mention this earlier, but like, what is your diet then? Because I remember like he was saying how he's eating like 10,000 calories. What do you eat daily to swim like that? When you're using that much calorie exertion, like what do you eat? Give me like, what do you eat every day?
When I was younger, I was eating about 8,000 calories a day.
You now, too? Yeah.
I'm 35. And if I eat that, guess what? No, I'll be joining the belly flop competition. Like there's no way in hell that I could. No. So it's definitely something like I have to watch what I eat, because I mean, if I eat like a candy bar, like I'll see it. It's so much harder. Even with
all the swimming you're doing and all the exercise you're doing?
Even with all the swimming, it's your metabolism slows down so much as you get older, and it's a lot harder. Especially if you gain the weight, it's a lot harder to take off. Mm-hmm. So
What do I know?
I'm usually probably eating around 3,000 calories a day, 3 to 4,000.
What do
So
you
it's
eat? What's
pretty
for
much
breakfast? What do you eat for breakfast?
breakfast. I'll have anywhere a bagel with cream cheese and some fruit, or um,
A bagel?
oatmeal. Yeah, just something little because I don't like eating so much before. And then have practice, and then I get a protein shake. Then I get eggs, potatoes, like pancakes. I go nuts.
Is there like anything that like what's your favorite? Like what's your go-to foods for like energy or just because you like it? Like give me like
Pizza.
some like kind of like what you ate today. What did you eat today for pizza? Okay. What did you eat for
Pizza
breakfast
is
today?
my go-to. Like pizza, I can have that any time of the day.
Anytime, yeah, me too. But like when you're like training hard and you're like with the Olympics, like what would you eat for breakfast? Like a bagel, you said, and for lunch you'd have it would be the same as you're doing now, or
Yeah,
what would did it?
nothing has changed except I eat more salads than I did before.
Do you have any like health hacks? Like what do you do for like I don't know, do you have like supplements that you take or like healthy, whatever, like what you kind of like feels the things that you do to kind of keep you on point? Like there are a lot of people who are like, I wake up at 5 o'clock and I have to meditate or I have to write in a journal
No,
or I
no,
have
no, no. I just
nothing like that.
I wake up and it's a new day every day.
Yeah. So you have no structure, you have no like thing
No.
that like ritual that you have to do.
And that's why I say like I'm not like your normal Olympian, because everyone is so like A, B, C, D, E, and I'm just like, today's a D, today's A. Like I'm all over the place. It's just I'm living my life. I'm not letting like swimming or anything like determine on what I have to do. It's just I'm a father. I wake up, play with the kids for a little, and then I go to practice. I swim my practice. I come home. I'm a father. So
Right.
it's just every day is different.
You sound like just like a regular guy that just, like you said, just happens to swim sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, no biggie. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to like all the other stuff. So when you were kind of on that trajectory, and I remember
Yeah.
seeing you on the cover of all these magazines and like, you were like the hot thing. Like, in fact, actually, I remember like, even though Michael Phelps was Michael Phelps, yeah. But I felt like you were kind of in a way like surpassing him a little because like, I hate to say it, but you were cute, right? So brands
Yeah.
wanted to like work with you, right? And you were like, do you remember when you had your hair was like white or silver, and it
Yeah.
was like, it was like the biggest deal. Do you remember like the media? It was like on every like news, station and media cover, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, Ryan colored his hair. Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
And like, what, I mean,
It was, and then I wore my grills on the podium of getting my gold medal.
right.
It's just absurd things. But that's me. That was my personality, just being different.
But it worked for you, and then of course, like it worked for you, and like it kind of like you brought personality to it beyond, and like you were like being like sponsored by like everybody. I remember like you were like the golden, in a way, like the rock star golden boy. And then of course that whole faux pas happened. And then in Rio, and then I mean, I would imagine it must have been really difficult for you to kind of like find your way again when you were such a, people like just revered you and you were like getting so many amazing offers.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was one of the most difficult things that I had to do was, I mean, like you said, I was like almost on top of the world. And then one instance, I was stupid and I made a mistake, and it was so hard, and I'm still trying to climb out of that deep hole that I dug myself into every day. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and maybe it was someone saying like, wake up and smell the coffee, because I was starting to being like, oh, I'm on top of the world, I can just do this, I can do that, blah blah blah. And I had like no woman in my life really. I was just like free for all. I was just, a playboy having fun.
Right. But I still don't get, like, it was such a stupid thing. Like, why?
Yeah.
It's crazy how something, like, you didn't kill anyone. It wasn't like like
No.
a huge thing, right? It was a small incident, but yeah, I guess because you lied. But I mean, you were like totally like taking over the coals for that. I remember.
Yeah.
But why? I want to know, why did you even do it? It's so stupid. It was such a stupid thing in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, what was the point?
Nah, I don't. You got me. I don't know. It was just me and a couple of guys letting off some steam. Like after we worked so hard, we got a gold medal, and we were just going out on a night on the town, and we got a little too sauced up and
Right.
paid the consequences. Yeah.
But if you just said that, why did it have to be a whole other thing? You know what I mean? Why couldn't it just be like, yeah, I got drunk and we all like partied too much, and then it would have blown over, right?
Yeah. Well, when everything happened, I was still intoxicated at the time.
I am.
Because it happened the next morning. So, I mean, I was still under the influence, but that doesn't give a reason for me to do everything that I've done. So, I paid the price, and you know, every day I'm making myself better, trying to become a better man, and a better human being.
I just find it funny because that's not funny. I find it funny that how people do such much more awful things than what you did.
Yeah.
And they get excused much easier, I feel, than you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I can't. I mean, I've paid the price. I'm still paying the price. I'm still trying to just move forward, and you know, I have a family now, so I just got to do my best to try to protect them, and you know, make my 5th Olympics, because that's one of the things I wanted to teach my children is, you know, in life you're going to get knocked down a lot, and it's how you get back up is what's going to define you as a person. And me, I've been knocked down too many times, but I'm still up and I'm still fighting. And that's what I want to teach them is, you know, we're a fighter and I'm still going.
Absolutely. And I think everyone loves a comeback story. And I think that you've obviously like are on the right path. You're doing so many great things. But why does that, when you did your own show, was it like the reality show on E? Okay, another thing. Why did you do it? I don't understand why you said yes to that.
Cause it was something. I mean, who could ever say like, "Oh, I had my own reality TV show"?
I mean,
it's just it was something different. The only thing I did not like is I had no control on what they put. It was like in reality TV is not reality TV.
Oh, I know that. Right. Mm-hmm.
Because we would do scenes and I would say something. They're like, all right, well, let's redo this scene and you say it this way. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say that, but I did it anyways. Mm-hmm. And so that's the piece they use. And I was like, wait, that's not me. Like, what the hell? Oh. So this whole thing, I had my own TV show. I met so many famous people because of it. Like, it was pretty cool.
Because of that, I thought you'd meet a million famous people just from your swimming career. I mean, that to me would be
both. But I mean, I got into a new era. Like, I got into a new genre, like TV. So that was pretty cool.
Because you also did another thing. Didn't you do like Big Brother, or was it? Hold on.
I did Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, so
I just did that like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that. That was really cool. I like that.
You had a good experience with that?
Yeah.
How long are you there? Like, what's the process of that?
I don't know. I got kicked out the second week.
Oh, you did?
I was the second person to leave because I was a big threat because I was athletic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's all like a whole game. It's like a mind game thing, like in the house. So it's basically you're in a house, cameras all over the place, and you talk to people, eat food, like that's all you do.
And like they're watching your every move, basically.
Every move. When you're sleeping, if you scratch your butt, like everything.
They can see it. Are you serious?
There's like mirrors all around the house. So it's like you can walk up to the mirror and be like, are you in there? Are you in there? Like everything.
Oh my gosh. And so are you sharing a room with somebody? Like who are you sharing a room with?
You share a room with a bunch of other people.
No, I know. Like who did you share your room with?
Like the person I shared my room with, I was who did I share my room with? Well, I can't even remember. Tom Green.
Oh,
he was one of my roommates in the beginning.
You mean Tom Green, the guy that from years ago?
Yeah. So Tom Green was in there. Kato Kalin.
No way.
Ricky Williams. Jonathan Bennett. Joey Lawrence.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like we had a good group. Those were just the guys. Like we had a good group. Everyone had like a different personality. There was a lot of drama that happened, like on the girls' side.
Hold on, this is.
Like,
what do you mean? Hold on, you gotta say that
like,
again because you got. Okay, this thing's like.
There was a lot of drama.
Yeah, I heard that
on the
part.
girls' side in the house.
like what? Give me an example.
So like there's this girl Lolo Jones. She was another Olympian.
Yeah.
So I knew her. And she didn't. Something happened about her food. She flipped out, being like, "I'm an Olympian, and I have to eat this certain way, and you guys are just messing this up for me," and like just flipping out. And everyone was like looking at me, being like, "Well, you're an Olympian too. You're not flipping out." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't ask me. I don't know."
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and then like she'd get in fights with like other girls on the like. The production company almost had to come in the house and break it up because they were yelling at each other. Like, don't you yell at me, bitch, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, what? There's going to be a fight that's broken out. Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, because girls are worse than guys, I think, in a lot of ways. They're catty, they're bitchy. I would love to be a fly on the wall with that.
So,
it must have been hilarious. Did Kato Kalin give you any dirt behind the scenes?
No. We never really talked about anything outside. Yeah, it was just mostly like, what are you guys doing now? And like, what's up? Like, how's our things? And then it's like, oh, you talk shit about me. What? I'm going to hit you. And I'm like,
exactly. It's like all that nonsense.
Yeah.
And then how much do they pay you to be in the house?
It was like $125,000 just to sign up for it.
And then, so was everyone making different amounts, right? Like but that's guaranteed.
That's guaranteed. Is if you keep going, you get more money.
So the longer you last, the more money you make.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. Oh well. So how much could you make if you make it to the end?
I think it was a little over 300,000 or something.
If you make it to the end.
Yeah, I think so. And you get extra like 50 grand for charity and stuff like that.
Oh wow. Okay. So you do it again if they asked you again? No. How about?
Because I don't like the whole mind game that people play in the house. It's like, oh, I'm going to be really nice to you. So you tell me like you want to team up with me, but then really I'm already teamed up and I'm going to backstab you. Like, I don't like that at all.
God, it sounds awful to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
I
was able to say I did it and it was cool. I got some good friends out of that show, so that I still talk to and hang out with.
Who do you still talk to?
Jonathan Bennett.
Who's that? Should I know who that is? Jonathan Bennett?
He's an actor. He was on Mean Girls.
Oh God, that was like a long time ago. Yeah. Okay, a long time ago.
And like Joey Lawrence.
Oh my! From Blossom.
Yes.
Oh my God, what is he doing these days?
I don't know. He's like, he really wants to become the next Batman.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think you'd have a better shot at that, than he does. But why? Is that just like his all-time
it's just that's yeah.
childhood dream
Yeah.
to do that? Oh, well, good luck
But
to
yeah,
him.
I mean, I still talk to them all the time, so they're good friends.
That's nice. And then why did you do Dancing with the Stars? Was it also like you're trying to like dig yourself out of that hole and you were just kind of...
No, I chose to do Dancing with the Stars before I went to the Olympics.
Oh, was that before?
No, I did Dancing with the Stars after the Olympics in 2016, but I agreed that I was doing it before the Olympics started. So before the whole Rio incident happened.
Oh, you already agreed to it?
Yeah.
Really? How come?
I like doing things that challenge me and that are different. And definitely taking a fish out of the water is definitely very challenging. So I was like, let's try it.
And so did you like the experience, or?
It was the hardest training I've ever done. I would have trained 1 year of swimming before doing 2 weeks of dancing. It was 8 hours every day, nonstop, on because swimmers bodies are hunched over. This is how we make our swimming body. And
right, that's right. That makes sense.
And then dancing, it's the complete opposite. It's posture open. And open on your toes and tights and it was hard.
And did you actually do it? Did you train that much every single day?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to. I had to learn the dances. I basically had to learn how to walk.
So how long did you last on that show?
I made it till there was 12 weeks, and I made it to 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so how did they lure you in? How much does a show like that pay someone like you to go on the show? Because at that point you didn't have...
It's about the same as the Big Brother.
And at that point, you kind of you said yes mostly because you wanted to try it, because a lot of times people go on that show when they have a redemption to be made, to kind of be seen or, but you really honestly just did it because you wanted to have the experience.
It was something different. It would have been fun, but I'm like, shit, that wasn't so much fun. It was hard.
I'm surprised.
Dancing is hard.
The hardest.
It's really
I agree.
hard.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't do the Celebrity Apprentice. Did they ask you for that too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Would you do that one? That seems like another one of these things. No?
No. I think I'm done doing those kind of shows for a while.
Okay. Well, you never know. Okay. So what are you kind of doing now? Are you doing any kind of, cause I did see you, one more thing before I get into any of that. I saw you, I was in the hotel and I saw you on that CNBC or MSNBC show with A-Rod, and A-Rod was...
Yes, with A-Rod.
What was it? Is it CNBC or what is that? Was that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And he was supposed to help you figure out your life, your finances or your business life and all that.
Yeah, I did the A-Rod show, which, I mean, it was good. And everything.
Has he changed your life? Is he mentoring you financially?
No. No.
Yeah.
I think it was only just for that show.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah. But yeah, I did the show, but now I'm working with this new company called Pinata. And so Pinata is a visionary company that's on a mission to change how the world thinks about rent. Because I mean, everyone hates paying rent, and it's just a hassle. Especially me being I've rented for so long that I know what it is, and it's basically Pinata is committed to making rent smarter and making it rewarding. So basically, if you use Pinata, you can earn rewards. How if you go to a hotel or you use your Sky Miles, you earn rewards.
Yeah.
So it's a platform that they're doing for renters. So you use Pinata and you can start earning rewards and start getting expenses paid off your rent. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
No, that sounds great. So basically, someone like, if I was someone who was renting, every time I pay my rent, I would get a reward of some kind every time I pay my rent. That's amazing, especially now with everyone like having to be quarantined and not being able to go to work.
Yes.
So they're basically telling people if they pay their rent, they'll help them with some kind of reward or bonus.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Basically, yes. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing. And what they want to do is they're doing, especially with this COVID-19, they're doing a rent relief program that's letting landlords nominate a tenant who especially deserves like a break through their rent pay, because you know how people can't go to like work and it's so hard to pay rent. Yeah. So the tenants, the landlords are nominating a tenant, and we're going to pay their rent for a whole month.
So, okay. So like if I was a landlord, I can say Joe Blow is a really good tenant and he deserves
to have his rent paid free, and we pay it for a full month.
Oh, wow. How many people are you guys picking to do this with?
I don't know. They have to sign up on the website. If you go to the website, you can sign up on it.
That's a great thing to do. What's the website? Tell us, because I think that's a really timely thing for now. Yeah,
it's pinata.ai. No, yes, AI. Pinata.ai.
Pinata.ai. I'll Google it right now. Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah. Also, every time that any renter uses Pinata to pay their rent, we are donating one meal to homeless people.
Wow, you guys are doing a lot. How long has this company been around for?
It's just starting. Like, in the Pinata wants to. The program is launching the rent relief. The COVID-19 rent relief thing is starting next week. Is launching next week.
Oh, so it hasn't started yet. Okay, so what's the date? It's starting. What day is that? Because this will be up next week. So
I don't know what the exact date.
By the time this comes, well, by the time this gets posted, I think that program is going to be up. So that's basically it. I just checked out the website. It's Pinata. Hold on, spelled PINATA.ai. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the most important thing, like, because I know I'm not going to be swimming forever. So I need something.
It seems like you are. I mean, you're like 110 and still swimming.
Yeah, the way this is going, I might.
Exactly.
But I want to do something. I want to be with a company that like I truly want to be with. And I really believe in this company, because not only like being a renter myself, I understand how hard it is. But them giving back is what really got me. Because I love giving back. I love helping other people out, and what they're doing is just amazing. So I'm very excited to be with them. And so basically, me being in quarantine, that's what I've been doing, like making phone calls and trying to help them out.
Wow. And so what's your role with them? Are you like a spokesperson?
I'm an ambassador. Yeah.
An ambassador.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Because after, like, this is going to be my job. Like, I'm going to like try to get landlords and other people using Pinata. And I think this is going to go worldwide, because it's the only platform of its kind.
I was going to say, it's kind of like a no-brainer. I've actually never heard of, basically, like, why would someone not do it? Like, if you're paying rent if you're a renter and you're paying rent anyway, why wouldn't you use something like this if it only gives you a benefit?
Yes, exactly. And it's going to be where you use your phone. If you go to Starbucks and you had that little code, You use that. It's going to be start using that. You have like a little pinata code and start using them. There's your reward. You get rewards like $15 off Bed Bath and Beyond or something like that. This is a no-brainer, and it's going to be amazing.
No, I love that. So that's basically, is that your main business project that you're working on right now, or you're involved with, or do you have anything other?
I have other ones. You ever heard of Spire Institute?
No, who are they?
It's this big school for sports in Cleveland. It's like the biggest. They have every kind of sport possible at top of the line. And I'm their like swim ambassador there because they have a swimming pool, and they want me to like kind of like help out. And not only is it just bringing people for like training and stuff like that, it's like they're going to have dorms. They have a school. So kids are going to be going to school there, and they can train.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just getting involved with that too. Other than that, just being a dad and trying to keep these kids not from going crazy.
I know, my gosh. It's like, and how old are your kids? You have a baby, I thought, right?
Yes, I have a 2.5-year-old boy and a 10-month girl.
Oh my God. Are you done now, or do you want to have more kids?
I mean, I guess I have no say.
Yeah, basically, that's true.
Yeah.
But if you did
my wife keeps saying, "Oh, I want another one. I want another one." I was like, "Can I just please make it to the next Olympics, and then you can have as many kids as you want?"
Right, exactly.
Because if I have another one before the next Olympics, I'm like, it's just too much for me. I want to be able to handle it.
I mean, the fact that like you have two small ones like that, like at that age, those kids, you're in the weeds at that age. I mean, it's hard.
Yes, so that's what I was saying, like the luxury of taking naps and everything.
Yeah.
I don't really get.
No, you don't. Absolutely not. I mean, especially when you guys are all stuck in the same small space, and kids yelling and crying. And I always say to my friends, like, they don't understand, like single people who are with no kids, or they don't understand like how, like what a luxury that is. The time is a luxury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have that luxury when you're a parent, because you don't have you don't have the ability to be like, I don't want to play with you right now. I don't want to feed you right now. Find something else that, you can't do that. So it's super difficult. And, oh man, so that's hard, because so even now you say that you go, like, not right this minute, but when you're training, you're already training twice a day. You're doing the morning swim, your strength training, and then you're going back to the pool like in the afternoon, right? So like, you're really not, like, it's really more your wife that has to take on the brunt of everything typically. Yeah.
Well, she takes on about 3 hours in the morning, 3 to 4 hours in the morning. Cause my son goes to school. So
right now he's going to school, or?
Yeah.
Oh, how lucky you are. How did that happen? How come you're the one?
Well, no, not right now. No, not right now. I'm talking about like before this COVID. Yes. He was going to school, so she didn't really have to worry about him, because I always picked him up after my weights.
Right.
I was able to pick him up. So all she had to do was take care of our daughter. But so like 3 or 4 hours in the morning, she's with him, and then I'm home, and then they don't even want to be with her. They want to be with me, because daddy's the fun man. And
trust me,
I have the most energy, and I can run around with them and stuff like that. So I do that. And then when I go to afternoon practice, well, now I don't have afternoon practice. I don't have swimming. So.
Right. But
it's just basically
when you do,
if I did, yes. If I do, I go back to swim practice for 3 hours. So out of the day, it's like 6 hours that I'm not with them.
Okay, that's not so. That's just that's how you're making your living, right? Like this is like. So have you seen it?
It's way better than going to a 9 to 5 job.
Oh, Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, have you seen though, like you said, like we're joking and laughing, like how you're getting older, you're going to be like 110 in the pool. But you said that your your training is like super, like you're like on point right now. Like, do you feel like you're not slowing down in that way again? Like, you feel like you're just as sharp and fast, or are you as sharp and fast as you were back in 2004 or?
So before this whole
thing happened,
yeah, before this whole COVID-19 happened, I was actually on point to go best time.
Wow.
I was seeing times in practice than I was seeing back when I was in 2012, like at my peak. So me and my coach, we were very excited on knowing what was going on or what was going to happen for me this summer. So, I mean, we were so pumped, and I was just ready mentally. But now that this all happened, it just makes me, I guess you got to think of the positive side, that you have one more year of training to do under your belt. That means you have one more year of getting better, one more year of getting stronger. And just learning more about yourself and about swimming and making you a better person in and out of the swimming pool. So I think I'm even going to be even faster than I am what I think I am right now.
I mean, that's talk about resiliency and having a strong, positive mindset, and I think that, that's amazing. Is there any kind of, who do you look to? Do you have any mentor or anyone that help kind of guide you or help give you like that, like ammunition, or you just kind of get it you've always had it from within to have that?
I've always had it within, but I mean, it's always like my wife or something, or even my son. Sometimes he's like, "You can do it, Daddy." I'm like, "Fuck yes, I can." So like little things like that, I have people like chirping in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's mostly comes from me.
Well, I think that's amazing. I'm rooting for you. I hope
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I know you're going to win the gold. I can feel it.
Yes, that's what I like. That's what I like.
You have one more year. I can feel it. You know what? I remember when I even saw you. I told you. I said when I saw you on that A-Rod NBC show.
Yeah.
I felt that you had like this like come back in you. I was rooting even before I even like spoke to you today and everything. I was like rooting for you. I've always been rooting for you because
thank you. I appreciate it.
It's true, because I feel like you kind of like, you fucked up, and everyone fucks up, and move on. It's not like you killed somebody, and it's not like you did. I mean, I feel like you're a good guy, and I'd like to see you win.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, and hopefully I do.
Yeah, you will.
Yes.
I know you will. And you'll be coming back on the podcast and, with another gold medal or.
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yes, it's going to happen. Exactly. It's going to happen. So where do people find you, Ryan, if they're more curious about hearing about you? Or we already told people about your new business project, Pinata, which is the for renters and for landlords.
Yes.
How you get those great rewards by paying rent when you pay rent. What other ways we can find you as a personality?
I mean, you can honestly just follow me on all my socials, just at Ryan Lochte, and I pretty much post a lot, or my wife does. She posts a lot about me on like what I'm doing and stuff.
What's your wife's name?
Kayla.
Okay.
Kayla, yeah. I think her handle is Kayla Reed. I think she has her last name as her handle. I don't know.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we're going to tell people to look for you, Ryan Lochte.
Yes.
They can find you on Instagram, Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So you can find me. I'll be posting stuff about my life.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, Thank you. You've been awesome. And I apologize for the technical, there's been a little bit of disruption, not just to you, Ryan, but in general. So people, if you're listening and you have had a little bit of like chaotic disruption with the technical issues. I'm sorry, but this is what happens when we're doing everything through technology now.
Yes.
So you've been a great guest. Thank you for coming on Habits
and Hustle. Yes. Thank you for having me.
And I'll be watching you, and I'll be speaking to you soon.
All right. You got it.
Bye.
Bye.
Habits and hustle, time to get it rolling. Stay up on the grind, don't stop, keep it going. Habits and hustle, from nothing into something. All out, hosted by Jennifer Cohen. Visionaries, tune in, you can get to know them. Be inspired, this is your moment. Excuses, we ain't having that. The Habits and Hustle podcast, powered by Habit Nest.